again, Wired fam. What's everybody doing this evening? How is everybody? Hope y'all are doing well. Hope everybody's staying dry this evening. It's raining here in East Tennessee. They're calling for flood warnings, supposedly, here in East Tennessee. Supposed to get, I know there's a lot of ice. Yeah, Wade says there's a lot of ice over in West Tennessee. I know there's a lot of rain supposed to hit East Tennessee. I guess if you're west of Nashville, I think you're going to get a lot of rain and a lot of snow and a lot of ice, but I think we're just going to get rain over here. I hope everybody's doing well. Glad you guys are with me. Let me get my seat here. Sit down for a minute. Oh. So what is up, everybody? What is going on? We got some good things to talk about this evening. Down here in the shop, doing a little maintenance on the boat. We're going to talk about that, go through that a little bit. Obviously, if you don't know what's sitting in front of me right now, I'll lift it up so you can see it. Oh my goodness. Everybody know what this is? It's the lower unit off my motor, guys. It is the lower unit off of my boat motor. Completely tore apart. As you can see, there's no water pump housing. There's no shift lever or shift rod housing. That's all over here on the table to be replaced or be put back in. So we're going to do that a little bit tonight while we're talking. So we'll get into why this is sitting on my table here in just a minute. Make sure I don't get gunk all over me. But we'll get into why this is sitting on the table here in a minute. And we will talk about a couple different things tonight. So we're going to talk about, first and foremost, your winter maintenance, guys. Winter is the time to get some stuff done on the boat if you have anything that needs to be done. We'll talk about why I have this off in a minute. But Livescope update come out. We're going to talk about that update for a little bit, because if you run Livescope, you have probably seen a video or a post on the update, okay? So we're going to get in depth about why they did the update, what's the update about, how's the update going to benefit you, and then you can make a decision whether you want to download it or not. So we'll get into that as well. But first and foremost, when you get on tonight, guys, please do me a favor, drop a comment, let me know where you're from, say hello. I always like to say hello back. We're going to do that here in just a second. I'm going to go through and say hello to everybody, but I always like to know how far we're reaching. So drop me a comment. Oh, by the way, 9,600 subscribers, actually over 9,600 now. But we're getting closer. We're ever so slightly inching closer to that 10,000 subscriber mark. When we hit 10,000 subscribers here at Wired for Crappie, I'm going to give away a, what's up, Joel Nash? Don't know how Bar's fishing. Hadn't been there yet because my motor's tore apart. So hadn't been to Watts Bar yet, buddy. So yeah, the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Okay, guys, when we hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away a 2-day fishing trip here in East Tennessee with me. I will pay for your motel and I will pay for your fishing license. All you'll have to do is drive down here and pay for your gas. Okay, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be an absolute blast. I'm looking forward to going out with whoever wins that, whatever subscriber wins that. But you have to be a subscriber. You have to be a subscriber to win that giveaway, okay? As soon as we hit 10,000 subscribers, we will give away that fishing trip, okay, guys? So real quick, let's see who all's on tonight. Let me get over here where I can see you guys first and foremost. All right, let's see here. Who all do we have on? Nathan Wood, what's up? 922. Hello, Jimmy Pratt, Big O, Dave D, Terry Gear, Ashley Coffee, Robert Love, Wade Burris, Josh Sanders, Scary Barry, what's going on? Heidi, Branson and Laura are doing great. Heidi, thank you for asking. I appreciate it as always. They're doing good. Steel Horse Trucking, what's up? Pushing Pete down the road. That's funny. Pushing that old Peterbilt. Crappie Kev, Todd Pell, Larry Merrick, what's up? David Smith from Crossville, David Moyer, Mike Morrison, Eric Lynn, the Joel Nash in the house, Robert Johnson, Tom A., Robert Harris from Carrollton, Georgia. What's up? Texas Crappie Assassins, Dave Baker, Jeff Branham, James Saunders. Hello, hello. Johnny Sellers and Scott Winkler. What's going on? Kids are doing good. Mom's doing good, everybody. Thank y'all for asking. I appreciate that very much. But everybody is doing good in the Wired House right now. Okay. So right now, in the Wired household, everyone is doing really well. Okay. So really, really happy for that. Glad that everybody's doing well. But what do you guys want to talk about first? You guys want to talk about motor maintenance first? Or you guys want to talk about the Livescope first? I'm good either way. Danny Rocks is a good video on the batteries. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, so I got the batteries hooked up. I got my Amped Outdoors batteries, my trolling motor batteries hooked up. I'm extremely excited about that. I can't wait to get them on the water, but I've got to get this joker going. Where's my banner? Hang on. Where's my banner at, guys? And banner, and boom. All right. Don't forget, take advantage of those discount codes. They're there for you guys so you guys can save yourself some money. So take advantage of those discount codes, okay? Now my comments are gone. Come back, comments. Come back. Livescope, Livescope, Livescope. Everybody wants to talk about Livescope tonight. All right. So let's talk real quick about the new Livescope update. Pretty good show you've got on. Did you notice that, Ashley? Ashley noticed the show in the background there. That is a pretty good show. I like that one. That was a fun one. That was actually the tournament that I won on Chick. So if you guys haven't watched that, open water winter crappie, that was actually filmed during the Chickamauga tournament. I actually won that tournament. So there it is right there. If you guys want to see me catch those winning fish, they're right there. Okay? You can watch while we're talking. How about that? I thought I'd throw that on for you guys. That way you could watch while we're talking tonight. All right, Joel Nash. Here we go. Joel Nash, I'm going to use you as a guinea pig, Joel. Hope you don't mind, okay? Bam. New update is pretty sweet. Okay? We're going to talk about this from two different perspectives. All right? The new update is pretty sweet. But it is also not very sweet. All right? So we're going to go through why I say that. Johnny Coots in just a minute. Thank you, Johnny, for the super chat. I appreciate you very much, buddy. He says, I would like to thank you again for everything I've learned at 67 years old. You're very welcome, sir. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, if you don't know what a super chat is, that's a way for you guys to give back to this channel, keep me on the water, making great content for you guys, and keep me coming back week over week. So if you don't know how to give a super chat, right down below your comment section, there's a little dollar symbol. You click on that. YouTube will walk you through how to give a super chat. Every bit helps, guys. Every bit helps. So I appreciate that very much, Johnny. It's a blessing to me in this channel, and I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very, very much. All right, so Joel, again, your comment. New update is pretty sweet, okay? Guys, so let's see. How do I want to start this conversation out? Okay. So everybody knows Humminbird and Lowrance released their live imaging, correct? Correct. So now there's two new players to the game, right? Well, if you guys have done any research or watched any videos on Lowrance and Humminbird lives, you know that the black area on Lowrance and on Humminbird is clear. Okay. There's not a lot of noise. You get a very clear picture. Okay. So there's a lot of guys that are going back and they're saying, oh my gosh, hey, guys, have you seen the Lowrance? Have you seen the Humminbird? It's so clear. The screen's so clear. Oh, it's so much better because the screen's so clear. Wrong. First and foremost, wrong. The thing about Lowrance and Humminbird, okay, and what Garmin did with the new update, Okay, let's talk about what Garmin did with the new update. So what Garmin did with the new update is they gave everybody that option to make that black screen clear. Okay, but what that does in return is when you clear up that screen, all right, with color limit, when you turn that color limit up, you lose definition of brush. If you are a brush pile fisherman, please hear me out. If you are a brush pile fisherman, color limit will hurt you. Period. End of discussion. No doubt about it. It limits the amount of return on the screen. That's why it's called color limit. It's limiting the color on your screen. It will dim your brush piles. Period. No discussion. No ifs, ands, or buts. It will decrease the return on your brush pile. Now, if you're an open water fisherman, and this is why Joel Nash said it's pretty sweet, because Joel Nash is an open water fisherman, right, Joel? I'm sorry, I'm downing you out. But he says it's pretty sweet because he's using it in open water. Am I wrong, Joel? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But it's great in open water, okay? If you are going to fish brush, please, the update, look, the update is not going to hurt your unit. First and foremost, the update will not hurt your unit. If you don't want color limit, you don't have to use color limit. You can actually just leave it off. Okay, you're going to get a little bit of a different look. Okay, they have a different look. The screen has a different look to it now. See, right here, Joel Nash. True, it really does. Awesome in open water. Okay. Garmin had to do something to compete with the clear screen of Lowrance and Humminbird. Now, that's not me saying Lowrance and Humminbird are better. They are not. No way, no comparison. Don't hold a candle to Garmin Livescope. Because, and this is opinion, okay? This is all opinion. Because you can legitimately turn the color limit up to clear up your open water, right, on Garmin. But you can't turn anything up on Lowrance and Humminbird to make brush stand out better. Brush stands out. If you're a brush pile fisherman, if you fish crappie, if you catch crappie in brush ever, if you're going to fish brush, Garmin is the best product for brush piles, period. Right now, could that change? That could potentially change. Lowrance and Humminbird go out there and have some updates and figure out how to make that brush pop more. Then potentially, you know, they could very well take that spot away from Garmin. But as of right now, okay, Garmin is where it's at if you're a brush pile fisherman. Now, I had a couple messages this week, people wanting to talk about the update. Should I do it? Should I not do it? It's not going to hurt your unit. It's not going to change anything. It gives you, it actually has the auto, the Ghost Tree auto, which is awesome. Okay. So you can put it on auto, and depending on what depth of water you're in, it'll adjust that Ghost Tree setting. So it gets rid of that Ghost Tree. And I run auto gain. Okay. I run auto medium or auto high, depending on what depth of water I'm in. So auto on Garmin, we know, or I know, does a whole lot. All right. So the auto feature for the Ghost Tree is awesome. I'm going to run that for sure. I will run auto on my Ghost Tree setting. But as far as the color limit's concerned, if I'm out there fishing open water, if I'm sniping open water fish, then I'll probably use that, yes, to clear up past that 30-foot mark, okay? That 25, 30-foot mark, it really clears it up, clears that screen up, gives you a good black screen, and it does allow you to track your jig and track the fish. So I'll probably use it when I'm fishing open water, but as far as brush piles are concerned, guys, it will be turned off in my boat, I assure you, because, you know, I'll probably do a video on it, but get on a good brush pile, roll that color limit up, and you will watch that brush pile disappear before your eyes. And some people will say, well, I don't really need to see the brush. I need to see the fish. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. any YouTuber or anybody on social media tells you you don't need to see the brush for crappie fishing, I would beg to differ. I would, because look, I can't catch a fish if I'm hung in brush. If I'm constantly getting hung in that brush pile, first of all, I'm probably scaring fish off, trying to, break off out of a brush pile or get my jig out of a brush pile. But I'm also not able to catch fish if the lure's hung in a limb, or if it's hung in that brush pile. So I want to be able to see every single limb on that brush pile so that I can work my jig through that brush pile without getting hung in it. All right. So for me, the color limit is going to be off when I'm fishing brush. But if I'm fishing open water like Mr. Joel Nash, that's probably going to be the ticket. Okay. So again, it's not one size fits all. Livescope's never been one size fits all. It never will be one size fits all, in my opinion. I don't really think that you're ever going to see it just out of the box, ready to go for every angler. That's not what it was designed to do. But good update, okay? Won't hurt your unit. Nobody's having unit issues. It's not blowing anything up. So, changes the font a little bit, which I kind of find appealing. It's kind of nice to look at something different, but it won't hurt it, okay? So if you're on the fence about doing the update, look, you don't have to. There's a big check. Big check. But you don't have to use it, okay? You don't have to use the color limit. You can leave it off and you can run your Livescope just like you're running it today. All right. Does that make sense to everybody? Does anybody have any questions about the Livescope update? Any questions about the Livescope update before we move on? Paper towels. Any questions? Yes, I have paper towel stuffed down in the motor. Why do I have paper towel stuffed down in the motor? Well, that's because I retapped all these holes. Okay. When I took the old housing off, the old water pump housing, so I'll tell you guys what I'm doing. I had paper towels in there to keep shavings from going down in my motor because I retapped everything. That way I can put it back together. Josh Sanders said, why won't you use Active Captain to update it? Let me tell you guys why I won't use Active Captain. Okay? Bam. Where'd you go, Josh? All right. So let me tell everybody why I will not use Active Captain to update my units. No way, no shape, form, fashion. I will not use Active Captain. Okay? The reason I won't use Active Captain is because you don't want any interruptions when it's downloading the software. And let's say you're downloading the software and something happens to your cell phone, signal goes out, or, you forget that it's low on battery and it dies, or, gosh forbid anything happens. Somebody call you, okay, and it drops. It's going to mess up your unit. So I will not use Active Captain to update my units, all right? I will always download it on the card, throw the card in, and go from there. All right, download it off the card. Simple, easy, done, move on. That's how I update my units. But everybody's different. Everybody's different. Some people like using Active Captain. I'm just too afraid that something bad's going to happen. Murphy's Law, right? All right, so the reason I have this on the bench man up, Josh says. I ain't manning up to nothing. Jeff Branham, what size card? 32 gig. 32 gig on the card size. Matt, there's a lot of chatter on the Facebook Garmin pages about how the amount of voltage affects the quality of the image you get. What are your thoughts on this issue? Very good question, Dave. So let me put that up. I use a 32 gig card. All right, Dave. So first and foremost, if you're running any kind of Garmin unit, whether it be a 93 SB, a 1222, a 126 Ultra, a whatever it may be, okay, they recommend you do not run over 18 volts. So these guys running these 18 volt and 20 volt lithium batteries, you're gonna get you're asking to damage your units. Okay, you're not going to potentially. I'm not going to say you're going to. I'm just going to say you're asking to damage them because you're not supposed to run over 18 volts recommended by Garmin on their units. Okay, now the GLS 22 or the GLS 10, excuse me, I don't know where I got 22, 1222. The GLS 10, the black box, you can run over 18 volts, but again, I don't want to run two different batteries or run, 12 volts back to my dash or to a wherever it may be. Garmin also recommends you run your Livescope and your unit off the same power source. Okay. So I follow the Garmin recommendations, but the amount of voltage affecting the image quality. The only thing that's going to affect image quality, Dave, is low voltage. If you get low voltage, you're going to see loss in image. It's really not voltage as much as it is the amperage that you're getting. Okay. Voltage, a good lithium battery will charge up to 14.2 volts. A 12 volt lithium battery will charge up to 14.2. So, with that being said, I don't worry about voltage because I'm running my Amped Outdoor 30 amp hour. And the amperage coming out of it is more necessary than the voltage. And again, with a 30 amp hour Amped Outdoors battery, I'm putting plenty of power to that unit. So invest in a good battery. That's all I can tell you guys. Invest in a good battery. If you want to look at a 30 amp hour Amped Outdoors battery, message me on Facebook. I've got a link that I can send you guys where you can purchase those batteries from. But if you're going to purchase one, hit me up. I'll give you the link. All right, so that's Livescope. Okay, that's going to be the Livescope tutorial for tonight. It's really simple as far as the update is concerned. I mean, that color limit was simply designed to compete with the clarity of the screen with Lowrance and Humminbird, and that's what it does. Unfortunately, it just makes your brush pile image look worse. So I won't be using it, like I said, for brush, but I will be using it for open water. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. Scary Barry, if you want the link, message me. Send me an email at info@wiredforcrappie. Josh Sanders, drop my email in there, please. info@wiredforcrappie.com. Okay. Josh will drop it in the comments here in just a second. John asks, what's 12 volt cranking battery work okay for my Livescope? I would not. This is what I tell everybody, okay? When I do an install, when I do a Livescope install, I get asked that question a lot of times. They say, can I put the Livescope on my cranking battery? The answer to that question is yes, you can if you want to kill your cranking battery, okay? Because it will kill your cranking battery. Over time, it will kill your cranking battery. I have ran out to the lake for multiple people that killed their cranking battery and were stranded on the lake. Okay. So, or had to jump off on the lake and needed jumper cables. So, anyway, long story short, do not hook it to your cranking battery. Get you an independent battery, whatever independent battery you can afford, and run it on its own independent battery. Steel Horse Trucking. Can you get a discount code on the baits? What baits? Bonehead Tackle. Bonehead Tackle discount code is Crappie 2022, guys. Crappie 2022 is the Bonehead Tackle discount. 15% off of Bonehead Tackle. So, okay. So, John, you have an extra battery. You can run it off that, but it's going to kill it, my friend. Livescope will kill a wet cell battery. A wet cell battery just cannot withstand the excessive power draw and the recharge. The power draw and the charge, power draw and the charge, it will kill that lead acid battery without a doubt. It might not do it for a month, but 2 it will. I ran mine off of a lead acid battery when I first got it, just to see how long it would take to kill. I went and bought a brand new lead acid battery for $120, and it killed it in like 2 months. So it will kill the battery. It just can't. Lead acid just can't handle that amount of draw over time. All right, David Baker, here it is right here. Did it take but once for it to kill my cranking battery for me to get a dedicated battery for my Livescope? So if you don't take it from me, take it from David. Get a dedicated battery, please, guys. Please. Okay. All right. So if you guys weren't on the live about 2 months ago, I guess it was, month and a half, 2 months ago, I was changing the lower unit oil, getting lower unit oil changed. Wintertime, it's generally when I change lower unit oil, crack that baby open, water come out. All kinds of water come out of this motor. So I thought, uh-oh, not good. So I thought, got to be prop shaft seal, right? So I pulled the prop shafts or the prop off. Prop shaft seal was gone. I thought, there it is. Changed it. Went back to the lake. Fished 3 or 4 more times. Last week, came back, cracked this lower unit again, and more water came out. So I thought, all right, got a bigger problem. That is why it is off the bottom of the motor. So took it apart, got everything apart, got everything taken off of it, got the water pump impeller taken off, the shifter taken out of it, the shift rod taken out of it, the cover for the shift rod taken out, and lo and behold, both of my seals were bad in this lower unit. So the drive shaft seal was completely gone, and the prop shaft seal underneath on the prop shaft was completely gone. So I could literally wiggle this drive shaft, and I could see down in the housing in between the gasket and the drive shaft. It was gone pretty much. I don't know how I didn't have more water in there. And I don't know how I didn't blow the lower unit out of this thing, to be honest with you. So, but I didn't as of right now, and we're working on it, getting it fixed. So I've already replaced the prop shaft seal again because I went ahead and did that. So I had a fresh prop shaft seal and a fresh drive shaft seal. So got that done. And then once I got this thing apart, I thought, you know what? Let's just gut the whole thing and let's replace all the seals, all the gaskets, everything in the entire lower unit. Why not? We got it apart. So I've ripped this lower unit down to nothing, and I'm working on getting it built back. Some of the stuff that I order all my parts from boats.net. So boats.net is where I get all my parts from. They come, packaged really well. They ship them out pretty fast when they have them in stock. I did break the speedometer, the little speedo. That's for the speedo, for the speed tube. Okay, so I did break that when I was taking my lower unit off because I forgot to unhook the hose. Dropped the lower unit and it snapped it off. So that was smart, right? But it was like a $3.99 mistake, not big deal. So got a new one of those. But all the gaskets and everything, if they, like I said, boats.net's great, guys. They've got good prices. Not sponsored by them yet, maybe one day, but that's who I get all my parts from. And again, they ship out fast. They're in Georgia. They're located in Georgia, so all the parts come out of Georgia, and they ship to Tennessee really quick. So that's who I use. Kenny Sparks, Matt, saw you updated trolling batteries to lithium 24 volt Did you replace cranking battery to lithium 12 volt? No, I did not. I do not have a lithium cranking battery, and I'll tell you why. Because I run a 96 Johnson Fast Strike, and you cannot crank that motor with a lithium. If you crank that motor with a lithium, it will only take about 3 turns of that key, and it will blow the rectifier out of it. And I was not interested in replacing parts of my motor, so I did not I did not go to lithium on my cranking battery. No, it's still lead acid. David Baker, never enough time to do it right the first time, but always enough time to do it over. I was told that many years ago going to A&P school to work on aircraft. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Can I run a 30 amp hour lithium battery to run 2 Lowrance 7 units and a Lowrance Carbon 9 unit? Yes, you can. The amount of sensitivity you run or the amount of power you put out on those units is going to change your runtime on it, but you can, yes. Kenneth. All right, so everybody knows what one of these are. Does everybody know what one of these are? This is my old impeller. And actually, guys, this thing looks really good. I mean, I had changed this in like 3 years, I think. It's been 3 years since I changed it, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, that impeller probably could have lasted me another 3 years if I didn't have to take this thing apart. But because of what I had to deal with it, may as well change it out while we're in there. Andy Leonard, about how long do you think single 50 amp 24 volt lithium would run an Ultrex? Depends. Are you trolling or are you just fishing brush? If you're fishing brush, it just depends on how bad the wind's blowing, how long you have to stay on the trolling motor. I mean, there's so many factors to that, Andy. A 50 amp hour would last you all day on the water, unless you're trolling. I mean, if you're trolling, pulling crankbaits or something at 6, 7, on 6, 7, or 8, you know, as far as your speed's concerned, then, you know, probably 6 hours. But just fishing brush, docks, you know, fishing kind of the way I do, 50 amp hours last you all day, easy. Of course, I'm running 100 amp hours because I have 2 50s in parallel, so I shouldn't ever have any problems running out of juice. Let's hope. All right, so again, just trying to kind of do some routine maintenance. Figured I'd go ahead and while I was in here, I just rebuild the lower unit. That way, when I put it back on, I know she's good to go. I hope. One thing that on this old Johnson is you have to glue. There's a lot of parts that you have to put adhesive on. Okay. So this cup, which is what your impeller rides in, actually has to have adhesive put on it and has to be put inside the housing. Okay. The manual calls for, well, the manual calls for an Evinrude BRP adhesive, but they don't make it anymore now that Evinrude Johnson isn't in business anymore. So they the alternative for that was 3M 842 or no 847. I'm sorry. Well, I guess 3M decided they're not going to make it right now because nobody in this country has any. Called around everywhere. I could buy a gallon of it. I found a gallon of it for like $389, but I'm not buying a gallon of that stuff. So I found a product that actually is the alternative for 847, which is Quicksilver Bellows adhesive. Okay. So yeah, I'm using a Merck product on a Johnson, which, you know, whatever. But it is what it is. I like mixing and matching. I like being. I mean, I use Merck marine grease. That's 2,4-C. So if you guys had never used 2,4-C, that's what you should be lubing your motor with. And no matter what motor it is. If you have an outboard motor, 2,4C is where it's at when you lube that joker. For sure. I'm going to be getting on Watts Bar sometime. As a matter of fact, to Joel's comment, I'll be on Watts Bar the next couple of weeks. That's for sure. Got a tournament coming up on Watts Bar. Hey, that come out quick. Watery. So we're gonna put a little adhesive in there. Slow your roll. Oh, that is nasty stuff. Good night. Shoo-wee. All right, there's a little gasket that goes in here. Get that little gasket in there. Golly, that stuff's nasty. All right. Gasket that lays in there. All right. Gasket right there in the center. Glue that joker in there. That's gross. Stuff's like snot and sticky as all get out. Okay, let's get an actual rag. Here we go. We're gonna need that. Yeesh. Need one of you guys to come put this adhesive on this cup. It's like snot. All right, we're just gonna put a little bit around the outside of this cup. Okay. Shoo-wee. Yep, that's disgusting. Let that dry a little. We're gonna slide her in. Slide her on home. Probably should put a little inside the cup too. Just so it bonds. How many of you guys work on your motors? How many of you guys work on your own motors? It's nasty. Oops. I'll never get that off. Yeah. Slide this joker in there. Try to get it lined up. Get her pushed down in there well. Should be it. Little bits that come out the sides, we'll wipe it off. Definitely don't want it down in there. Wipe that up. Have you been on Douglas this winter? I have not. I have not been on Douglas this winter. I have heard that they're catching fish up there, though. But I have not personally been on Douglas this winter. I hadn't been a lot of places this winter. It's like every time I turn around, I can't get to the lake. Andy, how do you fish a big fish tournament? Search for single big fish or look on structure? Both. I fish both ways. Depends on how I feel I need to look for them. But I look both ways. Speaking of big fish tournaments, the ACC Crappie Sticks Crappie Cove Big Fish Tournament is coming up. If you fished in that last year, if you did not fish in that, you should. It's on Watts Bar this year. It's $150 a boat, guys. $150 a boat. And if you're fishing with an ACC Crappie Stick, you can win $1,250 an hour. Okay? $1,250 an hour, and you only have to have one fish. You catch the biggest fish in an hour. You can weigh a fish every hour. It's an 8-hour tournament. And if you catch the biggest fish on a specific hour, you can win $1,250. Is that not insane? $1,250 for one fish. So if you're not fishing in that ACC Crappie Sticks tournament, the Crappie Cove tournament, if you have not fished in that, go to Crappie Cove on their website or go to ACC Crappie Sticks on their website, and they have information for that tournament, okay? So go check them out. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of guys there. A lot of YouTubers are going to be there. A lot of pro staff guys are going to be there. But again, you only need one fish. You don't have to go put a 7-fish bag together, guys. You only need one fish, okay? So you guys have just as much of a chance to catch one fish as anybody else, okay? You only have to have one. That's it. Just one. All right, it's glued in there. Let's see. I work on everything at home, David Baker says. Josh says, YouTube is my friend. Wade Burr, since marine dealers are so backed up, I just do it myself with YouTube. Yeah. Marine dealers are ridiculous. I mean, that's why I've been installing so many units lately, is because marine dealers, they can't get anybody in. I mean, they're telling people like 2.5 months. I'm getting people in and out the week they call. So, you know. Nathan Wood, looking forward to fishing with you in March. I'm looking forward to it too, Nathan. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So, let's go ahead and get gasket sealer. Doing. We're going to go ahead and put this. Oh, we got to put the O-rings back in this. A couple O-rings that go down in there that are going to be a pain in the butt. So I've got to get 2 O-rings down in that hole, which is going to be a pain in the butt. These are the O-rings for the shift rod. They actually keep water and oil from getting in and out. This is where the marine grease comes in handy. Marine grease is your friend. He's your friend. One plate, one cup. Where's that old gasket at? In there? It's in there. Okay. All right. All right, let's see. Hey, Matt, can you tell us how the Cherokee Lake tourney went and what you did during the tourney? Yeah. So the Cherokee tournament went well. We caught a ton of fish, an absolute ton of fish. but we did not fish clean. Okay. And I seriously believe the reason we did not win that tournament is because we did not fish clean. So we lost too many good fish. Okay. We had several really, really good fish that we had at the boat. One of them came off in the net and then swam out of the net. Don't ask me how that happened. That was my fault. I actually had a probably 1.5 pound, 1.75 pound fish in the net. And when the hook popped out of its mouth, it almost hit me in the face. When I did this, I looked down and the fish swam right up out of the net and out to the lake. And we lost a couple other fish that we know would have helped too. So I don't know that we would have won it, but we would have finished better than we did. We finished 4th, which I thought was respectable for, losing the fish that we lost. But it was an interesting event. It was a good event. We did a little bit of everything. Okay. We fished docks. We fished brush. We did a little bit of everything, to be honest with you, and would have done the same thing. If we had to do it over again. Okay. So if we had to do it over again, I'd fish the same way. I wouldn't change a thing. All right. I would literally fish the exact same way. We fished well. We fished hard. We just did not. We didn't pull the win off. So, some days you win, some days you lose. But very good tournament. Again, we fished docks, we fished brush, and we had a good tournament. We just had one too many mistakes. One too many mistakes. Oh, I got to grab some center punches. You're welcome. Thank you for asking. I wish we would have had a better tournament. I wish we would have won the tournament. But there's some really good fishermen in that club. There's some really good fishermen in East Tennessee Crappie Club. And in order to win a tournament, you've got to be on your game. I mean, you can't be losing fish at the boat and win a tournament. You just can't. You just can't do it. So, All right, what'd I do with my other O-ring? Did I knock it on the floor? Did I knock it in the motor? Hope I didn't knock it in the motor, guys. Pretty sure I did. Talking and working at the same time. But yeah, very good tournament. Can't wait for another Cherokee tournament. It's going to be it's always a great tournament. Always a great time with good friends. Okay. And always a lot of fun. Found it. Steven, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Todd Pell, have you used Big Bite Baits pendulate jigs? Eyelet rotates 360 degrees. What would be the benefit for this jig? I don't know. I hadn't used them. And I hadn't really seen them. So I'm not really 100% sure, to be honest with you. I don't know. Not really 100%, Todd. I'll take a look at them and see what kind of benefits they may have. Right off the top of my head, I don't know, buddy. This is always the fun part, trying to get these O-rings in here. Should probably do that later. I'm not on the live. There we go. I'm getting somewhere now. There we go. Got it. Very good question, Eric. Very good question. Here's a good one. We hadn't talked about this before. What is your opinion between carpet bunks or plastic or rubber coated bunks? Okay. Very good question. Do I like carpet bunks or plastic bunks? Me personally, I like carpet bunks. I do not like plastic bunks, and let me tell you guys why. Okay. Because plastic bunks, when you pull out with a plastic bunk, if you're not careful, your boat can slide off the trailer very easy. Okay, very easy. So for that reason, I do not like plastic bunks. I like carpet bunks. Okay. Rubber coated bunks wouldn't be so bad because rubber coated would hold on to the bottom of your boat. But some guys like to pull up on those bunks and pull the boat out. Don't do that if you have plastic coated bunks. If you have plastic coated bunks, one day it's going to get you and you'll slide right off there. Okay. So be careful. Carpet, always carpet for me. What's your opinion on scents for crappie? Some plastics come garlic scented. If they come garlic scented, it doesn't bother me. Okay. Am I a believer in scent? No, I'm not. I'm not a big believer in scent. I believe that crappie's gonna, if he's hungry, he's gonna eat. Okay, don't matter if it's scented or not. And I don't think, personally, I'm more of a believer in contrasting colors than I am scents. Okay, I'm just not a huge believer in scents. So I won't elaborate on that because I'll run down a rabbit hole. But that's just me. Now, like I said, if it comes scented, doesn't bother me. I'm cool with that. Scary Barry, trolling or cover jigging for early spring crappie in Kentucky? Trolling. I love to troll. I started crappie fishing trolling and still love to do it. Early spring, planer boards. I love planer boards. When the water gets right, the temps get right, planer boards. I love to see the planer boards shake. Andy Perry, where's a good place to get a Livescope bundle? Very good question. Crappie Cove. Guys, Crappie Cove has Livescopes, okay? Livescope bundles at Crappie Cove. You can get them all there. Great place to get them, okay? Great place. All right, guys. We've gotten to the end there of the comments. We've been on for almost an hour now. I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to finish this up, get this back on the boat so I can get on the lake this weekend and get a video from you guys. So hopefully I'm going to get back out there this weekend, probably Sunday, hopefully going to Watch Bar on Sunday. I don't know, Saturday or Sunday, one or two. But I will be on Watch Bar. So that's going to do it for tonight, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. When we hit that 10,000 subscriber mark, we're going to give away a fishing trip. So don't forget to subscribe before you leave. But I appreciate you guys as always. God bless. We'll see you guys later. If you have any questions or comments after the live, please leave them in the comment section. And we'll see you guys next week.